Namaskar. Hello my student. Nice to meet you again and welcome to my channel, Wista Wardana. My name is Mr. Agus. For today, you will get mathematics class again with me. Before I start the lesson, please support me by subscribe this channel. It will help me to make more mathematics learning video. And for today, before we go on to the topic, I would like to invite you to pray together. I hope our learning process today runs well. Let's pray together. Dear God, please bless myself, my teacher, and my friend, so we will understand the lesson that we will get today. Dear God. Okay, we already prayed together. And then for today, let's go to the topic directly. Check this out.
Okay, welcome to mathematics class with me, Mr. Agus. So for today, you will get online class that the title is Whole Number and Their Properties. The subtopic in this chapter is successor and predecessor, properties of addition, properties of subtraction, properties of multiplication, and properties of division. Let's go directly to the first subtopic. The first subtopic is about successor and predecessor. This is not something new for you. You already learned about successor and predecessor in the previous grade. Start from grade 2 until now. And then before I move to successor and predecessor, you have to know what is the difference between whole number and natural number. Whole number are any numbers except negative numbers start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And natural number are positive number which used for counting start from 1 until and so on. You already know the difference of whole number and natural number. So whole number start from 0 and natural number start from 1. And then move to successor and predecessor. Successor is the number just come after the number given. And predecessor is the opposite of successor. So the predecessor is the number just come before the number given. In this case, for example, if we have a successor of 2,152,846, so the successor of it is 2,152,847. This is the successor of 2,152,846. And then the predecessor of same number given like before is 2,252,845. Okay. I think all of you already understand about this one. Let's move to the next slide. Start from properties of addition. So in properties of addition, there are 4 properties which is satisfied with addition of whole number. Start from the first one. We got the closure property. Okay, this is closure property. If A and B, are whole numbers, then A plus B is also whole number. So the addition of whole number is satisfied closure property. The next one, we have commutative property. If A and B are whole numbers, then A plus B equal to B plus A. So the addition of whole number is satisfying commutative property too. Additive property. If A is any whole number, then A plus 0 equal to 0 plus A equal to A. So we know 0 plus A or A plus 0 still A. And then the last one is about associative property. If A, B, and C are three whole numbers, then A plus in the bracket B plus C equal to in the bracket A plus B plus C. So the addition of whole number is satisfy associative property without checking the order of A, B, and C. Let's move to the next slide. The next slide is about properties of subtraction. Start from closure property. Let's check together. If A and B are whole numbers, then A plus B is a whole number only if A is greater than or equal to B. If A is smaller than B, then A minus B is not whole number. So, in general, subtraction of whole number is not satisfy closure property, but subtraction of whole number can satisfy closure property if only if the first number greater than the second number. Let's move to the next one, commutative property. If A and B are whole numbers, then in general, A and B is not equal to B minus A. So the subtraction of whole number is not commutative. Okay, and then property of 0. If A is any whole number, then A minus 0 equal to A, but 0 minus A is not equal to A. So in general, subtraction of whole number not satisfy property of 0, but it will be satisfy property of 0 if and only if A minus 0. Okay, and then the last one, associative property. If A, B, and C are three whole numbers, then B minus in the bracket B minus C is not equal to in the bracket A minus B minus C. So the subtraction of whole number is not associative. Okay, so we can say subtraction of whole number is not satisfying almost property are there in the mathematics. Let's move to the next slide. Properties of multiplication. Okay, in this case we have 6 properties because multiplication is so simple. When you want to get the answer, you can get the answer although you ignore the order of the numbers given. Start from the first one. We have closure property. If A and B are whole numbers, then their product A times B is also a whole number. So multiplication of whole number satisfy closure property. And then the second one, commutative property. If A and B are whole numbers, then A times B equal to B times A. So the multiplication of whole number is satisfy commutative property. And then the next one, property of zero. The product of any whole number and zero is always zero. If A is any whole number, then A times 0 equal to 0 times A equal to 0. So, multiplication of whole number satisfies the property of 0. And then, the next one, multiplicative identity property. If A is any whole number, then A times 1 equal to 1 times A equal to A. But 0 minus A is not equal to A. So in this case, you can get A by A multiplied by 1 or 1 multiplied by A. So multiplication of whole number satisfy multiplicative identity property. The next one, associative property. If A, B, and C are three whole numbers, then A times B in the bracket multiply by C equal to A times in the bracket B times C. So associative property holds good for the multiplication of whole number. And the last one, distributive property. If A, B, and C are three whole numbers, then A times the bracket B plus C equal to A times B plus A times C. This is about distributive property in multiplication over addition. And then, if you got the other example, A times the bracket B minus C, you can write A times B minus A times C. This is about distributive property in multiplication over subtraction. This is very important for you because it will be make you easier to answer some question that using distributive property. I will explain to you about distributive property in the last slide. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Properties of division. Properties of division. Actually, there is no one satisfy the division of whole number. So let's start to understand again about the meaning of division. We know that the division is the inverse of multiplication. When we want to divide 48 by 8 is the same as finding a number which when multiplied by 8 gives 40. Clearly, such a number is 6 as 8 times 6 equal to 48. Thus, 48 divided by 8 equal to 6 is the same as 8 times 6 equal to 48. Now, let us divide 53 by 8. We know that if 53 is divided by 8, then the quotient is 6 and the remainder is 5. So, actually, 53 is not divisible by 8. In general, we have divided equal to divisor times quotient plus remainder. This is a dividend formula that I already explained you when you was third grade, and you got this again because this is very important for you. You have to remember about what you had learned before, like divided formula. So clearly, 53 divided by 8 is not a whole number. Thus, if A and B are non-zero whole number, then A divided by B is not always a whole number. And then we have two properties in division of whole number. Start from the first one, division by 0. Although the both of property here is not the kind of mathematics property, but you can learn about this one because this is make you more understand about the meaning of division. Division by 0. Let us consider 8 divided by 0. After you understand about the meaning of division, clearly we must to find a whole number which is multiplied by 0 give 8. We are sure that no such number can be obtained. Therefore, conclude the division by 0 is not defined. So, if someone asks you what is the result of 8 divided by 0, then the answer is not defined. And then the second property, 0 divided by a natural number. In order to find 0 divided by 3, for example, we must find a whole number which when multiplied by 3 gives 0. And I think all of you already understand about the meaning of division, so clearly such a number is 0. So 0 divided by 3 equal to 0. Thus we conclude that 0 when divided by any natural number give 0. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Okay, like I told you before, I told you to give you more explanation about distributive property. For example, if you got the question like this, find the answer of the following problem using distributive property. Like number 8, 25 times 74 plus 25 times 26. I think the first one that you think in your brain is about simplification, because when you see the question like this, you will think about simplification that you had learned in grade 5. But you are right. Although after you learn about this topic today, I suggest you to use the fastest way, which is using distributive property. So to answer the question like that, I will try to explain you now how to use distributive property when you got the question like this. The first one, you have to check the same number that involving in the equation. In this case, we have 25 and this one is 25. So there are two 25 over there, and then you can put 25 in the outside of the bracket, and then 25 multiplied by 74 plus 26. So the question will be like this. You can change the question become this one, because in distributive property you can change this format into this format. After that, this is about simplification actually, and then you can answer it like you answer the simplification problem. So 25 multiplied by the result of the problem in the bracket, 74 plus 26 is 100. After that, this is the multiplication of 100 and it will be easy for you. So the answer is 2500. Do you understand? Okay, if you're still confused about this one, let's check to answer number B. Like I told you before, you have to check the number given in the question which is use same number. In this case, we have 63. Okay, so if you got 63 over there, you can put 63 in the outside of the bracket. So 63 multiplied by, in the bracket, 1251 minus 251. Okay, after you got the question like this, actually this is about simplification, and you must to answer the question like this, like simplification question. So you have to start from with the problem in the bracket, and then you have 63 multiplied by 1000, and then the answer is 63,000. So what do you think? Is that easy?
Okay, I think that's all my explanation about this topic. So, I hope all of you already understand about what I had explained to you before. So, if you have question about this topic, you can write your question in the comment column. And for today, I would like to say thank you for your attention, and see you again with me in the next mathematics learning video. Bye!